Good evening. Whenever a royal treasure and important national tourist sites need restoration or renovation, two major questions always come to the fore. Who foot the bills, and won't the money be better used on other more important public needs? Well, the United Kingdom had to tussle with these two questions when the Windsor Castle was damaged by fire in 1992. This was one of the many reasons why Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II characterized 1992 as annus horribilis. It transpires that in 2009, the Buganda Kingdom in Uganda faced a similar problem. Their major royal treasure was also damaged by fire. That is why today the Prime Minister of Buganda, Mr. Charles Peter Mayiga, is leading a delegation of Buganda ministers and other authorities to the United Kingdom and later on to other Western countries to deal with, among other things, the restoration of that treasure. We wanted to interview the Prime Minister himself, but unfortunately he is not available. He has nevertheless sent us his two ministers to answer our questions. I am now joined from Peckham here in London by Mr. Robert Simbirwa, who is the Buganda Minister for Investment, Planning and Economic Development, and by Mr. Charles Owek, who is the State Minister of Buganda Affairs Abroad. I am also joined by Mr. Richard Samitego, who is not part of a delegation, but he is a Ugandan political activist residing here in the United Kingdom. Gentlemen, welcome to our program. If I may start with the two ministers. Gentlemen, what are your main reasons for your visit to the United Kingdom?
Thank you very much for your question. We had three major reasons coming to England. The first reason is to mobilize the subjects of His Majesty the Kabaka of Uganda, to find out where they are, to share with them what we are doing back home, to engage them, and to get feedback into what we are doing. The second reason was to look at investors. We have a lot of investment opportunities in all sectors. The kingdom is the biggest landlord in the country, in the center of the country. So we have come up with a lot of portfolios of investment, and we came to engage investors whom we have been meeting over these days. And lastly was to raise funds for kingdom programs, mainly the restoration of Kasubi Tombs, but also the completion of Masenge, which is a commercial building at the head office of Buganda Kingdom.
Thank you. Let me bring in Mr. Owek.
We came here to mobilize the Buganda and Ugandan community living here. By mobilizing them, apart from informing them on the programs we are working on, but also mobilizing them financially as they are potential investors. One by one makes up a bundle. We think that if we mobilize them, they can be able to invest in the opportunities available in the kingdom, to participate in economic development and also inform them on the programs happening in Buganda.
The Buganda Kingdom is a kingdom of 800 years. And Kasubi Tombs is where we have three past kings buried. And it is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It was burnt down by assailants, and efforts have been on to raise money to restore it. And so part of it was to ensure the 64 acres on which it sits. We had to erect a wall, a very strong wall, which was not there, so that it can be secured. And part of the fundraising has gone to do that. The wall is completed, very, very strong. And now we are completing the main building where the kings are lying.
Raising finance for the Kasubi Tombs being, I said, a World Heritage Center, we also needed to mobilize the Buganda community here so they can be able to get involved in these kind of activities. It is very important. The money was for that perimeter wall my colleague has talked about, and also to get them involved in other development activities like the Masengele Plaza, Masengele building, commercial building at the seat of the kingdom.
How much money do you need to raise?
The figure was put at 6 billion.
Gentlemen, I understand that 5 billion Ugandan shillings are equivalent to 1.25 million British pounds. And you can build yourself 5 to 10 schools or 3 to 5 hospitals in Uganda. If I could address this question to Mr. Samitego, do you think that you need to use that amount of money to restore tombs in Uganda rather than building schools and hospitals?
Good question. Well, it's not all about money, but it's about involving all communities to feel part and parcel of the development taking place. Yes, that money can be used to build 5 or 10 schools in Uganda, but on top of that, when you look at what Kasubi Tombs brings in terms of tourism, it's very important to restore that site. Yes, Buganda Kingdom has done a lot because we have Kabaka Royal University, which was built by Buganda Kingdom. We have technical school. We have primary schools, secondary schools. The Kingdom of Uganda is giving bursaries and scholarships to the people of Uganda, not only Buganda, but people of Uganda, students, young people of Uganda to have education. Kasubi Tombs is one of the sites or tourism sites we have in Uganda. So it contributes a lot to the economy of Uganda in terms of tourism. A lot of people from UK, from United States of America, and other parts of the world, they travel to Uganda to go and visit Kasubi Tombs.
UNESCO and the Ugandan government had already contributed to the funds. Why is it still necessary for money to be raised from the Ugandan diaspora?
Not only people of Uganda, but Ugandans, they have come out massively. They are contributing. They are showing passion, love for their kingdom and for their country. So this fundraising, it's not about money, but it's about engaging communities. It's about bringing together people to feel they are loved, to show that they care, and they have sense of belonging by contributing towards the restoration of Kasubi Tombs.
Very interesting question. We have come up with a strategic plan for the kingdom, a 5-year strategic plan, and we have looked at things, schools, we have looked at hospitals, I've looked at so many things of human development and welfare. But to do this, you need sustainable income. As I've told you, these tombs are core to our heritage and culture. But beyond that, they are core to providing sustainable income to the kingdom. Yeah, if you raise this money and just throw it into schools or education, wouldn't have sustainable income. But the number of tourists that go to visit this World Heritage UNESCO site should guarantee us sustainable funding to go into other projects.
What else is the King of Buganda doing to alleviate poverty in Uganda as a whole?
Oh, the King of Buganda is the apex of promoting culture and development. When it comes to development, for example, the kingdom, he has set up 6 schools, primary, secondary. He has set up a vocational institute. He has set up a university. He has a scholarship fund, which gives about 1,000 scholarships every year to the less fortunate in the community. He has set up companies that employ several people, the radio station, set up the real property, So he's employing people, and the employment provides welfare to these people. But also, through the Ministry of Health, for example, he holds health camps for the hard to reach and people who have never seen any medical doctors. Every year, he organizes about 4 medical camps that reach to over 10,000 people who can't get access to any medical care. So there are a lot of programs that are geared towards promoting the welfare of the subjects in the kingdom.
He's a fountain of honor. He's a leader who provides direction to his people. He has mobilized the communities in Buganda on how to work hard, on how to fundraise, on joint investment portfolios. He provides direction. Without him, the sense of leadership and the sense of belonging cannot exist. He really feels for his people, and that's why we're here, mobilizing his subjects to protect our heritage and culture and values. He's a great leader who gives direction and hope and opportunity to his people.
Gentlemen, thank you. There you have it. Thank you for listening.